Have you ever taken a step back and looked at your life and thought, I am so far away from where I want to be? Well, that's exactly where I found myself 2 years ago. And I reckon the majority of people feel this way, whether it's now or at some point in their lives. We all get to a point of feeling like we want to do more. We want to find our passion. We want to do something that we love, but we don't know where to start or how to go about it. So in this video, I want to show you the process that I went through to essentially brainwash myself for success, to let go of any negative beliefs, and how I created a plan that I knew would work. I'm aware that there are going to be things in this video that are controversial and that some people may not agree with, but if I chose to hide them just so that I don't offend anyone, then you're not going to get the full truth. I have a template that I used for this whole process. So the questions that I asked myself, the brainstorming I did, it goes way beyond what I could fit in this video. And so if you really want to take this as seriously as I did, then you can use the same template, which I've included in the link below. It's completely free. Step 1, choose design. The majority of us live a life that is set by default, and we don't think twice about it because it's the norm, because it's comfortable. And often we don't even realize that we haven't designed the path that we're on until we actually take a step back and question whether we want the thing at the top. The issue with going down this default route is that firstly, which is the worst case scenario, you get to the top and only once you're at the top do you realize that this isn't what you wanted and you wasted all your years in a climb that wasn't yours. The second scenario is that you start climbing that ladder and you get a fair bit, maybe halfway, and you look at other people who are already at the top and you realize that you don't actually want what they have. At that point, it becomes a little bit easier to climb back down and then get on the right ladder. But the issue is that most people will just keep climbing on the existing one to avoid any pain. And there is a snippet from a video with Oprah Winfrey that I'll play here.
People get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go.
Oh, wow.
And most people don't know where they want to go. A lot of people are going and being driven by what they think they should do,
right,
what other people say they should do, what they have carried in their mind for a long time they should do. But the most important question you can ever ask yourself is, what do I really want?
Wow.
The goal here is to look at what's at the top and ask yourself, is this worth climbing? Will I feel fulfilled? Will I be living a life that I want to, both during and when I get to the top? Some of the questions that I asked myself when I was doing this exercise was, what would I want to experience in life if time and money were not an issue? What does a successful life look like to me? Where am I going? And how do I want to be remembered when I'm gone? I've included all the questions that I answered in the free template with example answers. This will help you get really clear on what you want and how close you are to your version of a successful life, or how far away you are from it. For me, it was the latter. It was how far away I was. And believe me, there is no better motivation than realizing if you don't take action, your life will look the same 10 years from now. Step 2, bridge the gap. There is a 2-step process to this part, and the second part is probably a part that might be a bit controversial. The first part is your strategy, which boils down to 3 areas: your skills, your habits, and people. This is all about assessing where you are now and how you're going to make the changes to get closer to where you want to be. Firstly, what skills do you want to master to achieve your goals? Think about what you need to do and how and whom you could learn from. For example, when I decided that I want to take YouTube seriously, I knew that I didn't have the skills to make it work. I was fully aware of that. I also didn't have access to anyone who had done what I wanted to do. But what I did know is that all the information that I needed to succeed was available, and all the skills that I wanted could be learned through YouTube videos, through books, through podcasts. The second part is habits. What habits do you want to unlearn and new habits do you want to master? And then finally, people. Who are you surrounded by? Think about the people who influence you in a negative way, and then think about the positive people that you want to spend more time with. When thinking about the negative people in your life, be really conscious of the way you feel when you speak to certain people, or how they make you feel. Do they make you feel like you're aiming for too much? Do they make you think too much? Do they drain your energy? Do they gossip all the time? I made an active effort to remove all of that from my life, and I'll go into this point a bit more in the third section. The second part of this step is to have this unwavering, disproportionate belief that you're going to achieve that thing, and give yourself a predetermined period of time where you will become obsessed with it. You'll think about it first thing in the morning. You'll dream about it. You think about it last thing at night. And there is this quote that is, use the weekend to build the life that you want instead of trying to escape the life that you have. You want to dedicate every free moment you have to this thing. That's going to mean saying no to social plans, saying no to things that you want to do, saying no to spending your money on some things because you need that money to invest in yourself and to grow. There are only so many hours in a day, and we all have commitments that are unavoidable, like a full-time job, children. So with the limited hours we do have, you need to commit them to the life that you're designing. I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be the easiest period of your life, but the best of life comes from making the decisions to do something difficult now to enjoy the rewards of the compounding later. Most things that feel good now will feel bad later, and most things that feel hard now will feel good later. Step 3 along the way. When you're on a different path, creating a life that isn't the default, it is inevitable that you're going to face obstacles, both personally and professionally. So 2 things you want to remember when you're on this path. The first is to take advice from the right people. You will get so many opinions, and a lot of people may throw you off track for different reasons. And it may not be because of any bad intentions, but their beliefs aren't the same as yours. Don't waste your energy trying to fight it, to tell them that they're wrong, or to try and explain what you're doing. Not worth it. The only people who you want to get advice from are people who are already where you want to be or have done something similar. If they don't have either of those 2, there is no point listening or letting the opinions of others dictate your path. The second is cut off the drainers, but don't isolate yourself. You're going to grow apart from people along the way for different reasons. You change, they change. Likely you won't be there to hang out with them all the time. I still have moments where for a period of time, no one will hear from me. I'll just disappear, and then I'll come back and be ready to socialize again. And then I'll disappear again and work really hard on whatever I'm doing. And not everyone will get that. Not everyone will understand what you're trying to do. And it can be lonely, but the people who do get it will stand by you. Have a few people that you really trust, that are really happy for you, whether it's 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, just have them around you. So that is the process that I went through. And through this journey of discovery, I have read more books in the past 2 years than I have probably in the rest of my life combined. And it has been such an important part of my process, which is why I wanted to talk about short form, because it's one of the ways I was able to consume everything that I did. Short form is a web app for reading book summaries. You could use it on your laptop, you could use it on your phone, and it is hands down the best book summary app that I have found. I've tried several, including Blinkist, but I found that their book summaries were a bit superficial, whereas summaries in short form are very in-depth. So you get a 1-pager summary, but you also get detailed chapter summaries. And what I really like about it is that when they give you a summary of a book, they don't just provide a summary of a book. They also include snippets where they bring in learnings and insights from other books. For example, after a certain section, they might say, although this author talks about this, it is controversial because this evidence shows otherwise. And they then give you a link to a book summary or a blog that they provide additional points to consider. It's so much more than just a book summary, and I get so much value from reading a short form summary than I would any other platform that I have found. So I reached out to them and asked if they could sponsor a video, and they agreed. So thank you, Shortform, for sponsoring this video. If you want to check it out, you can get a free trial by using the link in my bio, shortform.com/Nischa. And you could also get 20% off your subscription through that link as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you do the exercises in this video and it helps you find your path, whatever that path may be. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.